Hey everybody, welcome back to an introduction to ArcGIS Survey123. I'm Jenny Sauer. I'm a mobile solutions specialist with USDA APHIS PPQ End User Tools Group. And I'm going to talk in this video about how to complete the survey. So this is the fun part. And nothing to be nervous about if you've ever even had to enter a contact in your phone. It's that simple. This is filling out a form. That's all it is. So let's start with what you know. Here we are at the Mobile Data Collection Tools webpage. The top half has training documents. You'll want to go to General, locate ArcGIS Survey123, and there we go, the ArcGIS Survey123 Getting Started Guide. So this means you have the application installed either on your desktop or the mobile device you plan to use. You have signed in to the ArcGIS Enterprise, also known as the APHIS GIS portal. You have downloaded the survey that you wish to complete, and now we're ready to complete the survey. So go ahead and skip to that part and use that as your directions to follow. But here's the things of note. This Be Prepared section. So Survey123 is downloaded while connected to Wi-Fi, and then you use the form while disconnected or connected depending on the device you're using and your ability. So if you're out in the field, you want to make sure that your battery's fully charged on the device, or you have access to a power supply, that your device has the survey downloaded previously, and then you can disconnect from Wi-Fi. Very important, you want to make sure that your location service is on or the GPS is enabled. I'm going to show you that on the iPad. I'm going to change the settings to disconnect from Wi-Fi, and be sure that my location services is on by going to my settings application, to privacy, and their location services is on. Location services locate you, so that indicates that the GPS receiver integrated in your device, in your iPad, is enabled. So you want that on for Survey123. Back to Survey123. Let's have a look at this simple Ralstonia first track form. And again, there's no data to be seen, so there's nothing sensitive here. I'll go ahead and tap that card to open the survey, and now we have the option here along the bottom to collect. And you can tap anywhere on this bar to collect data on that survey. And you can see that opens the form, and a couple things to note. Required fields have a red asterisk. Sometimes there's a hint. You might notice that with the nursery address. It says nursery address and then it says street address, not P.O. box. That's a little hint on how to fill out this field, but you would rely on survey protocol on how to respond to these fields. So you would go to your program manager or the NOM for the PES program, and they would inform you on survey protocol for filling out this form. But there are hints. So another example would be the nursery state, where it's asking you to fill in the state as a 2-letter code. So you wouldn't fill out Colorado in full, but it would be CO for Colorado. So pay attention to those hints when filling out the survey. Some surveys may be enabled with a related table, and this one is. So in this case, it's collecting data on a nursery location. So this is all nursery information. And then in that nursery location, there could be multiple greenhouses, and it allows you to collect data on each greenhouse. So this is a collapsed group of questions. If we tap on that minimized group then maximizes, and there they all are. And again, if you have information on a greenhouse, you'd fill that out all the way through, paying special attention to hints and required fields. And then towards the bottom, you could decide to trash that. Maybe you didn't do the inspection or you decided not to. You can go ahead and trash that. You could add additional greenhouse information, so greenhouse number 1 and then greenhouse number 2, etc. And that would change this one of 1 to one of many. It would say one of 2 or 3 or however many you end up completing. And then you would get arrows that would allow you to kind of page through those greenhouses. And once completed, you would hit this check mark. We have a separate video on how to complete or submit a survey once it's completed, once the form is completed, so look for that if you would like that piece of the puzzle. Let's scroll all the way back up to the top and have a look at this map feature. In order to make changes to this location on the map, you may find that you have to connect to Wi-Fi. I'm in my basement, and so I'm going to do that to make sure this demo is helpful to you. This map question at the top may or may not appear on a form, and if it does, it's important to feel familiar with how it works. It is drawing my location based on the GPS receiver in my iPad right now. And this is where I am giving this training. But let's say I need to collect data for this form. I would like the nursery address to happen here. And for whatever reason, it's showing my location currently and I need a different location. I can alter this here in this map, and I should become familiar with checking to be sure this GPS receiver is working well. To do that, all I have to do is tap on the map itself, and it opens to a full screen view. I've got some information on my location, the latitude, longitude on the bottom left. I have a field here where I can search for another address if I want to. I'm going to type in another address, and you can see it's searching the world's database for that location. So it might be that I found the location and now that's where I want to be. It's pretty responsive. I could type in something like Denver International Airport, DIA. It's found the airport for me. If I want to find another location on the map even within the airport, it's responsive to my touch or to your mouse click. So even within the airport, I can get very specific that I want to be actually there. And I can zoom in, I can zoom out. I could change the base map if there's another base map available. I can go back to the home extent, which is a little further zoomed out, or I could ask it again to find my actual location in Windsor, Colorado. And once I'm happy with where that pin is dropped and that location on the map, I can accept that location by submitting it with this white check mark, and then it locates me in the map here. Best practices for completing a survey form. If there's a map question, be sure to check that it is registering in the right location. Be sure that all of your required fields are completed. Just give it a once over again once you've completed everything, and make sure that there's no fat fingering that happens, any errors that you may have entered. Make sure you're being consistent with the way the data is entered. Be sure that you've followed the hints in how you've entered the data. Consider your survey protocol, and then you would submit that form. Submitting a form is a separate video, so look for that one.